This recent Netflix show has gotten a lot of praise as well as criticism from the audience, but we can't deny that it had us hooked from the start. Based on the real-life serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, the show has broken quite the records, and we'll be telling you all about it. Today's video is dedicated to the popularity of the series as well as what to expect next from the creators. First off, it's reaching milestones. Lucky for us, we live in the era of streaming platforms, which means that we most likely never have to wait around for weekly episodes, and also the fact that shows are available to us to binge whenever we want. In fact, the more hours spent on a show add to its popularity, and that has now become a benchmark for success. Gone are the days when we'd record our favorite shows or wait patiently for reruns. No more, sir. Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer Story is no different. A treat for anyone who enjoys a good psychological thriller with gory moments. It really caught on like wildfire. Add to that the fact that all of it was based on a true story, and the audience just couldn't have enough of it. Okay, we know it sounds disturbing, but the show actually reached 1 billion hours viewed in the first 60 days of its release. That's gotta be some kind of milestone, no? It is. The dramatization of this serial killer's murderous spree from 1978 to 1991, in which he killed and dismembered 17 innocent young men, is in league with the Korean psychological thriller Squid Games and the 4th season of Stranger Things. While the other two are works of fiction, Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan's Dahmer is one of the most popular shows of its kind on the streaming platform. We do think it's a reason to celebrate, even if it makes us slightly uncomfortable that so many people binge this show. Coming up, it's a job well done. We do think that the backlash that the series received initially only added to its popularity and the audience's determination to see it through. The families of the victims refused to participate or even acknowledge the effort put in. In a way, we get where they're coming from. The whole debate about bringing their worst nightmare to life is something that we agree with, and honestly, with the way everything was so on point, it's insanely triggering. Even though we saw it as a third party, there were moments that we just couldn't get through. And then there was the whole thing about glorifying the killer, showing a human side to him, which we really don't think happened. We got into it thinking he was a monster, and by the end of it, we believed in his sickness as well as the failure of the system completely. The sort of privilege that this man enjoyed due to the color of his skin just made us sick to our stomach. It was an epic viewing. It was just that good, from acting to the way each moment was showcased, and well, you know what happens when a streaming platform thinks it's cracked the code? Oh yeah, it's been renewed. And no, we'll not be revisiting Jeffrey again. It was clear that his story came to an end, and we don't think we'd want to sit through anything about that guy ever again.
As a little kid, and then one Halloween I went as the devil.
Following up, it's coming back as an anthology show. So far, we know that there will be 2 more seasons. Like we said, they've cracked the code and they plan to milk it to the max. So, like Murphy's other works, American Horror Story and American Crime Story, will be getting new seasons based on different individuals. The theme will remain the same, but the focus will shift from one person to another, in this case from one serial killer to another. Like the name suggests, it will be about a new monster whose actions really impacted society and changed the way people operated. We can't really say that we got out of the last season unscathed. It was very disturbing, and if we're being honest, it took us quite a while to shut out all the horrible things that the serial killer had done.
Yeah, I think it helps even me out. There was no booze in here. Like that was a lot of my problem.
And with so much impunity. We're also not sure which serial killer they'll be going with for the next season, but according to the grapevine, John Wayne Gacy might be it, because that weirdo has recently gotten a lot of popularity based on a show that's available for streaming on the same platform.
Part-time.
Oh, I mean, I'll take as many hours as you can give me, you know.
Just depends on what you want to do.
But looking at how the showrunners had to face backlash for the Dahmer series, it is possible that they go with someone older from the past to avoid controversy. Well, if we're being fair, no matter who they'll choose, it will create a frenzy. And that's just how these things work, and the tallying of details ends up in an obsession to know more.
Well, I just kind of panicked at that point. I tried smashing the bones.
let's talk about the future possibilities. Now that they are changing the format of the show, turning it into a compilation of sorts, the possibilities are endless. And this can go on to become one of those forever shows that keep bringing us story after story, and in this case, horror after horror. We mean, the world has been full of sickos, and the show can really bank on them to keep the series going. Not to mention, everyone loves a show or movie based on a true story. Also, we think this would be a chance to really explore this genre. There's no doubt that we've seen our fair share of serial killer content over the years, but to have something come out so systematically would really add to the collection. Not to mention, the makers have proven that they can produce excellent content, so we're sure the audience will pay to watch this. Netflix has worked on a lot of serial killer stories individually, so they'll have plenty of research to go by no matter who they decide to go with. It's important to note that Gacy and Ed Gein, both the notorious murderers, were mentioned in Season 1, so they might take this route. Other than these two, Ted Bundy or Edmund Kemper can also be featured in the upcoming season. We're just talking about the possibilities here. It's entirely possible that these guys go with someone else, but can you imagine we can have so much of this?
I think I just wanted him to still be around. I like the idea of little pieces of him being everywhere, you know, surrounding me.
What's more, they need to work on the timelines of the show. There's no doubt of its popularity, and anyone who's binged on it like we have will know that the show gets a little flighty in the middle. How do we know, you ask? Oh, well, because we're pretty obsessive when it comes to true crime, and we like to keep our timelines clear. The time jumps really had us confused for a while, but then we had the patience to look up the details and connect the dots. We aren't saying it's not all there, we're just saying it can get a little tiring jumping through the past and the present. Also, it has added characters, obviously, to give the content a bit of a kick. It is a show after all, and since the families refused to be a part of it entirely, they did have to rely on actors to bring in that extra dose of insanity. So what we're saying is that we could see the gaps the makers were trying to fill, and we do hope that going forward they won't try to gloss over their lack of imagination. Again, we're just assuming that they didn't have the exact details as the family had not been cooperative. We're also not sure how helpful the authorities were, given that the show made them appear in a super negative light. All in all, for the first run, it was epic, and we can be sure that people will be coming back for more. Finally, all the details we have for now. Just like you, we have a lot of questions, but at this point in time, there's not enough information available to bring you some solid news. What we do know is that the series was renewed in November, and Ryan Murphy releases a new show every 2 to 3 years based on how he worked with American Horror Story. If we follow the timeline, we'll be able to see Monster Season 2 sometime in 2024 or 25. Yeah, that's a long wait, but we'll see how things turn out to be. The fact that everyone's excited and Netflix likes to strike while the iron is hot might get us a release as early as 2023. There are, of course, no promises. To be honest, after Peter's insane performance in Season 1, we can't wait to find out which actor they take on for the next one. Needless to say, they've got big shoes to fill. As soon as we have more details about the upcoming season, you'll be hearing from us. Till then, be on the lookout for some juicy goss. And that's a wrap for this video. What did you think about Netflix's hit show Dahmer? Did you think it'll have a Season 2? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel, and press that bell icon for the latest information and news like this, and we will see you in the next one.